Hi everybody, let's talk about fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers or portable fire extinguishers are found in the OSHA standard under 29 CFR 1910-157. 29 CFR Code of Federal Regulations 1910 indicates general industry and 157 indicates the rules and regulations or the standards for portable fire extinguishers. Now here's what we'll learn. We'll talk about the types of fires, the fire triangle, types of extinguishers, and how to use an extinguisher and the rules for the fire. Now when we talk about fires, fires are classified by the types of fuels that they burn. 4 types, A, B, C, and D. Class A fire, wood, paper, plastic, rags. Things you can normally use to put water on and would probably put them out. But when we go to the Class B fire, we're talking gasoline, oil, grease, paint, thinners, things of that nature that you really don't want to put water on those to put out the fire. Class C is an electrical fire, office equipments, motors, switch gears, heaters, things of that nature that you definitely don't want to put water on unless you want to become energized really quick, because that's what would really happen. Class D fires, we probably don't deal with a lot of those, but if we do, it's typically the potassiums, the sodiums, the aluminum. Magnesium is the one that I'm most familiar with when it comes to metal fires. And again, you would want to use something different, something that probably was either some kind of smothering agent or something along that line. Now, if you will, in your mind, draw a triangle, a fire triangle. It requires air, fuel, and heat. If you remove any one of those legs of the triangle, you don't have a fire anymore because it requires all 3 of those things in order for you to have a fire. Oxygen, obviously, air is required as a catalyst to make it burn. For a fire to start, there has to be something to burn. Also, for a fire to start, there must be some kind of ignition source. Now, there are a lot of different types of fire extinguishers. Years ago, we had that old chrome fire extinguisher that hung upside down on the wall that was full of water, gravity-fed type thing. For the wood, paper, plastic, rag type fire, you find those in office areas in most cases. And some people still have a little bit of stock of halon fire extinguishers, but the one we're most familiar with today are the ones that hang on our poles or in our shops. That they're listed as ABC type fire extinguishers. Again, Class A, used for wood, paper, plastic. B is for flammable liquids. C is for electrical. That's where you get the ABC. That fire extinguisher is good for those 3 classes of fires. And of course, a D class is for metal fires. Now, sometimes you can go into a large department store or something, you'll find a fire extinguisher that says it's a K class. Basically, that's a K stands for kitchen. That is typically an oil or a grease type fire. It's a B class fire extinguisher. Here we teach the pass system: pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Pull the pin. This will allow you to discharge the extinguisher. Aim at the base of the fire, because if you aim up into the flames, what will happen is the extinguishing agent will just shoot right through the flames. Doesn't do you a whole lot of good there. You'll always want to sweep at the base of the fire. Then you want to squeeze the top handle lever. This will depress the button that will also release the pressurizing agent, and then the fog or the white powder, sometimes it's a yellow powder, will start discharging from the fire extinguisher. Once that happens, then we want to sweep side to side at the base of the fire, not up in the flames. Make sure you keep your aim at the base of the fire. Now, there are some rules for fires. Fires can be very dangerous. I don't have to tell you that. Be certain that you will not danger yourself or other people when you're attempting to put out a fire. Also, if your fire is beyond the inception stage, that's really what portable fire extinguishers are for. That's the inception stage fire right when it first begins. But once it starts to spread rapidly, it's time to pull the fire alarm, call 911, or assist anyone that's in danger. Never fight a fire if you don't know what's burning. Sometimes you can look at a fire and the yellow and the orange that we normally see, you'll see mixed in there some purples and some greens, maybe even some blues or something. That tells you something else is in that fire that may be off-gassing. If you don't know what's burning, you really don't know what fire extinguisher to use. The ABC again covers the wood, paper, plastic, the fuel oils, and then the electrical type fires. Never fight a fire if it's spreading rapidly beyond the spot of where it started. That's the inception stage. The time to use an extinguisher is in the inception or beginning stage. And remember, fire extinguisher probably won't last very long, maybe just a very few minutes. So if it's a very large fire, it may take more than 1 or 2 or 3 fire extinguishers. But if it's starting to grow that large, recommendation, 911. Never fight a fire if you don't have adequate or appropriate equipment. And if you don't have the correct or large enough extinguisher, it's best not to try to fight the fire. Never fight a fire that might inhale some toxic smoke. Go back to those odd colors that are burning in that fire. Sometimes the yellows and the greens and maybe the purples. If it's off-gassing, it could be off-gassing some kind of toxic smoke. Never fight a fire if your instincts tell you not to. I can't say that enough. If something right here tells you that I shouldn't be here, or I'm not comfortable in this position, it's probably best not to do it. If you're uncomfortable with the situation for any reason, just let the fire department do their job. That's fire extinguisher training. Remember, pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. And remember, the classes of fire are A, B, C, and D. Wood, paper, plastic, fuel, oils, and grease. C is the electrical type fires, and D, the metal type fires. Always make sure you're familiar in your shop or in the area that you work, whatever manufacturing plant. You know the location of your fire extinguishers. And another rule of thumb, you probably have a contract with some company that comes in once a year to inspect your fire extinguishers and do their inspection. But keep in mind, once a month, someone from your facility should inspect each fire extinguisher in the facility. Now, it's not a difficult thing. If you notice on the tag that's hanging on the fire extinguisher, you'll see holes punched. That's where the agency has come in and completed their annual inspection. On the back, you'll see there are 12 slots there. That's where you initial with the date, the month, and the year, and then put your initials beside it. There are 12 slots there for each month of the year. The only thing you really do is you look at the fire extinguisher, make sure it's charged, make sure it's not obstructed, make sure it's not damaged, and move to the next fire extinguisher. I hope this helps with portable fire extinguishers, and I hope you have a great day.